As we're here, kind of take a moment to imagine if I could see an aura around my body, what would that look like right now? Based on the types of thoughts that have been going on, I imagine that that affects our aura in different ways. So for instance, if, there's been a lot of frazzledness, like a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, I imagine maybe the aura starts to look a lot more like static electricity, just kind of shooting off in random directions, not really that controlled. Or maybe if there's somebody who's kind of one of those energy vampires, maybe you can imagine them literally sucking energy off of your body. You can imagine seeing those lines transferring over to them. Or maybe if somebody cut you off on the way here today, maybe there is that moment of just sudden anger. And so imagine that's maybe like an arrow bursting out of energy at that person. So I imagine, like, what if we could see the energy that's going on around us all the time? And what would our energy kind of look like right now? Maybe what color is it? What texture does it have? When it feels more frazzled, I imagine it almost like what the sun looks like when you take a picture of its surface. It's got so many storms and things just blowing up and making loops and all sorts of craziness. And so maybe that's what our aura looks like sometimes. I imagine as we go through our class today, just by stretching through the body, through the physical system, I imagine the body will, and this aura will start to smooth its way out just a little bit. So imagine as we go through class, it's almost like we're able to focus our energy a bit better, making it more like a magnifying glass. Or if you have light shining through, you can focus it in that perfect way to create a spark. So imagine that that's how our energy is going to be. It's going to be much smoother. It's going to be much more controlled. Our thoughts are much calmer. And it's getting to that point where when we have that single pointed focus, we can create amazing change in our body, change in our world, change in the earth, or even just change in our life. So that type of focus of our energy is going to be that idea that will rest in the back of the mind as we travel through all sorts of poses. Just imagine you could feel the energy and it smoothing over or shifting or changing as we go through. So with all that in the back of our mind to get started, let's begin. The knees can come into the chest. Maybe we're doing circles with the knees or just a gentle rocking left and right. Just listen for what would help that area of our body, the low back area. If there's any of that frazzled energy, any of that low back pain for you in your experience right now, maybe imagine we're trying to send breath to that area to help calm it. Good. So from here, release the left leg to the ground. Right leg starts to stretch up to the sky, grabbing onto the back side of this leg, maybe at the thigh, maybe at the calf or the toes. We're giving it its first really good stretch of the day. So imagine if you could feel within the muscles all those sensations that are going on. Imagine now experiencing kind of that aura just on the outside based on what you're feeling, what you're receiving. How would that aura look? Does it look more staticky or more smooth, like plasma or something? Continuing to support this leg, maybe at the toes, maybe around the calf. Take a moment to open this right leg out to the right. Try not to take the left hip with you though. So if it feels like it's starting to rise, shorten the width just a little bit. Beautiful. When the leg starts to work its way back up, take this leg about to a 45-degree angle to the other side. I'll usually take the left hand on the outer calf area to help encourage it to that direction. Lifting the leg back up, give it another pull up to the sky. Bending the knee, swivel the knee out to the side, place right ankle to left thigh. Let's give that side a hug. So we're hugging around left. This gives us a good chance to get into that right hip. Cindy, go ahead and switch the legs. It's okay. Deep breath all the way down into the belly. With our exhale, leave the legs in this shape. Arms open up to left and right. Tilt this whole unit over to the left. You want to get this stretch into the outer hip or outer thigh again. So if you're feeling it and it's too intense, scoot the legs away from the shoulder. If you're here and you don't really feel anything, you want more, scoot closer to the shoulder. You can control it based on where exactly the place is. Another good breath in. Exhale, release the ankle, return hips to the ground. You can grab onto knees again, maybe doing a few of those rocking motions that we started with. Beautiful. When we're ready to drop right leg down, left can begin to stretch up to the sky, grabbing on wherever the reach can happen. Ankle, calf, thigh. Leg starts to open out wide to the left. We're going to make sure right hip doesn't have to lift to get it there. Okay, comes back up. Tilt it to that 45-degree angle to the right. Maybe the right hand is on the outer thigh or outer calf. Just imagine how the energy around these legs, this leg as well as the other, how it's shifted already in the first couple of minutes of class. Good. So leg back up to sky, tug it in. Good inhale. And exhale to left ankle to right thigh, tug it in. I like to always check in with how the system is feeling. That keeps me in this state where my mind is active. I'm not bored. I'm not zoning out. I'm right there with my body. If my body wants more, I can tug it in a little bit more. If it's really deep, really intense, I back off a little bit. Another good inhale. And exhale, when we release the hand, this whole unit tilts over to right. Remember, you can scoot it away from the shoulder or closer to the shoulder based on what helps you feel that outer hip, outer thigh area. Another good huge breath in. Slow exhale brings us onto our back again, uncrossing the ankle. Maybe a few moments to rock around. If any of us want to go down into happy baby, you can grab onto the feet, maybe with movement. Maybe we're rocking today, maybe straightening one or both legs to sky. We're finding the areas of our legs that need that attention for the energy focus. Another huge cycle of breath in. And exhale, we can start to release. When our feet go down toward the ground, we're going to take bridge pose. So plant them close to the glutes, hands on the floor by the hips. Let's rise up and down a few cycles. Inhale, we're rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, rolling all the way back down. 2 or 3 more of those. Just feel the vertebrae starting to come more alive. It's like a new chance for us to feel into that area. How is the energy flowing? Maybe one more good cycle up. Down. Then we'll take a fish pose. So lift your glutes up so that you can sit on your hands. Hands are palm face down. From there, as I start to extend the legs out long, I'm propping myself up with my elbows, even squeezing the elbows in if I can. Heart lifts up, head rocks back. You could pause here at the halfway or rock back until the crown of head is barely grazing the ground. Keep the heart opening though. That's the biggest thing of this pose, that heart extension up. 2 more breaths here. Feel that energy expand. Good. Lift the head up safely, kind of rolling through that joint. Free out the hands. And when we come up to sit, let's start here by clasping around our shins. Our hands are just hugging, or we can grab for wrists. Round the spine backwards so that you can feel the shoulder blades pulling away from one another. Lots and lots of space. Head's curling in. And the back is in such a deep stretch. It doesn't like to just immediately jolt its way out. So take a full maybe 15 or 20 seconds to gradually unwind. So maybe just the head starts to straighten up. And then the spine starts to get straighter. Once we're pretty straight, try to do a big hug around the thighs. Maybe you can grab elbows, maybe it's wrists or hand clasp. You're trying to get torso to thighs as deep as you can. And then from here, we're allowed to walk one foot forward and then the other. We're allowed to continue traveling forward to the point where we start to lose that hug. As soon as it's not as tight as we started with, that's when we finish. So some of us will be almost at the beginning. Some of us will be almost flat. But I love this for how it includes the low back and the hips and the hamstrings in a whole different way than if we were to just let the legs drop down and try to reach forward. Good. So maybe the head can even relax down towards the knees. Another good breath in. With our exhale, hands find the floor, and then we press into the ground to help support the spine and that lift up. Good. Once we're there, left leg can straighten, right leg, we tuck the foot into the thigh. From here, let's circle the arms up to the sky. Feel the engagement of those muscles to feel long. And then exhale, release all the way forward. Beautiful. When we rise up, this right knee comes upward. You can hook our left hand or our left elbow around it. Set your spine up tall before you start spiraling around. And envision it's not so much trying to force the vertebrae back as trying to imagine the belly button brought right into the twist with us. The neck eases its way around, even maybe the eyeballs getting to stretch just a little bit. Good, a nice inhale. Exhale, start to return forward. Once we're there, switch the legs out. The left thigh drops down. Inhale, circle arms clear up to the sky. Feel that engagement of the back. Exhale, drop down. Absolutely fine to not touch toes. We're stretching where we're at. Good. Starting to lift. That left knee floats. Hook the right hand or elbow. Remember when we go to the twist, first set the vertebrae up tall, and then from that height, we can start to spiral, taking the belly button right with us. Another good inhale. Exhale, return forward, setting both feet into cobbler. You can choose to leave hands behind, just playing with the hips opening like a book, like a hardcover book, or you can tilt forward if you know in your body that's where you feel it the best. Personal preference. If there's tightness around the neck, maybe we're rocking around a little bit there, left and right. Good, and when we make our way up, let's head to a nice kneeling pose. Take a few of the cat-cows, or if there's other directions your spine needs to wiggle, that's perfectly fine also. It's like we could imagine how the energy of our back is at this moment, and how does movement affect it? More breath cycles, whatever we're playing with. Good. We'll head down onto our belly for Sphinx. So if you'd like to play with kneeling plank or full plank to lower down, that's absolutely beautiful. Either way, when we're down on our belly, slide the elbows underneath us. And when we're in Sphinx today, we're gonna play with a mudra. So this mudra is called Garuda Mudra, Eagle Mudra. So our hands are palm face up. You slide them into the middle and you hook your thumbs. So it's like wings. So just rest that down and allow your heart to get pulled forward and through so that you're stretching through that abdominal area. The neck doesn't have to be cranked back. Just keep it in a long line with the rest of the spine. It's like if you could trace the spine up the rib cage, it's just extending out of that angle. Imagine this eagle is like a focal point, that point where the thumbs meet. Focusing our energy on something beautiful. Taking our right leg into half frog, slide that right knee forward. I usually like to keep it right about the area of the hip. Not too high up, not too far down, just that perfect area there. With this back bend, you can feel how this affects the low back. Always know if the back bend is too deep, you can inch the elbows forward. That will make it less intense. More breath on this side. And then sliding this leg back. Second knee travels forward. Visit at that same spot, so not too high, not too low. Good breath in. Nice exhale. Sliding this leg back. Bring the hands to a tented shape off of each side of the mat. And then 3 times we're going to use our inhale to rise up to any variation of cobra. It doesn't have to be super deep, but a nice inhale to rise, exhale to lower. 2 more like that. Last one. Slide the hands in under the shoulders. Take a child's pose. Find getting to rest after that huge back bend. These can be wide, they can be narrow. Just listen to your body. Your body feels ready for downward facing dog. Start to tuck the toes, lift the hips up high. Maybe there's little movements that will help us to stretch through the areas where our energy is a bit tighter in the legs. Shifting toward plank, our shoulders go over the wrists. See if you can lift the right foot up for a full breath cycle. Inhale. Exhale. Set that one down. Left foot up. Inhale. Exhale. Set it down. Back up to downward facing dog. We shift back to plank. You have 2 options. The harder option is stepping this right leg to the left side, under and through, and then floating left arm up to sky. If you need an easier variation, just kneel on right knee, and then come to like this extended, like this supported side variation. Good, just like that. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, plant left hand down, unwind this right leg, sweep it up to the sky, and then step right foot in between hands. Go directly to warrior 1 from here, so back heel can rest down, arms sweep up to sky. Beautiful. So the legs lowering down just another centimeter, that slight bend to the knee. Nice inhale. Exhale, rotate open, warrior 2. Extend Extended side angle, front elbow rests down, the other arm starts to stretch forward to the extent that the shoulder is able. Rising back up to warrior two. And then turn to goddess pose on facing that same back door. Toes are at 45-degree angle. You're already lowering down. Hands can be up, they can be left and right, they can be at heart, whatever helps you focus your energy. What we're going to do is just a minute pulse up and down at your low range. So you find your low range, whatever that is, and then it's only an inch up and down from there. Like we're creating heat. We're feeling that fire within. A good spark. So maybe 2 or 3 more pulses. And then straighten the legs, turn the toes to this long edge of the mat, drop the hands down to the floor. You choose the arm variation. If you like to reach through the legs, that's fun. If you like to grab for ankles, that's nice. Whatever's working for your system today. Hands in front of us. We're either doing a high lunge, bending the right knee, or skandasana, going over the squat, over that right foot. Left leg is long. You could play with balance, hands at the heart, if that's the way to focus your energy today, or you could focus your energy downward, down toward, sinking toward elbows, really rounding and relaxing down, if that's your way to focus energy. One more breath on this side. And then we'll go through the center, 2 straight legs. Shift over to the other side. Maybe the same variation. Hands at the heart or downward. Another good inhale. Exhale, 2 straight legs. We'll rise up to stand. So oftentimes I'll bend my knees to roll up. My front toes turn forward. Shorten the stance a little bit so that you can completely face your hips forward, taking another warrior one. Next inhale. Exhale through supported warrior 3. Fingers are on the floor. Float that left leg behind. Good. Almost like a little squat. Try to touch that left knee to the back side of the right knee. Both knees are bending. And extend it back up. Just 2 more of those. Touch. And reach. Touch. And reach. Set left foot down next to the right foot. Let's just allow the spine to dangle for a moment. Fingers can be down, fingers can be around the leg. You can have hands in elbow creases. All of this is your preference. What's working for your energy right now. Helping it to smooth and to calm, becoming less static. Another good inhale. Exhale. Fingers drop down. We rise up to a nice half lift. And sliding the hands to the floor. Begin to step back toward plank or kneeling plank. Lower all the way down to the ground. And from this hand position, let's take a few of those lifts up and down cobra. So inhale, rising. You don't have to go all the way. Exhale, lowering. 2 more. Last one. Child pose or down dog if your body knows it would love it already. In the child pose, when you feel ready to start playing with the second side, you're welcome to start rising up to down dog. Here, try to take plank. We're going to try to lift right heel up. Down, left heel up. Down, back up to down dog. The easier variation here as we go back to plank is lowering left knee to the ground and rising up. Otherwise, left leg steps under and through to the right side. And then we try to lift right arm up. Another good inhale. Exhale, the hand goes down. Unwind this leg, sweep it up to sky. And step left foot in between hands. When we're there, back heel goes down. Warrior 1, rising up. And as we try to sink just a hair lower, notice how your energy is at this moment. Does it feel frazzled? Does it feel superheated? Sometimes fire, because we're starting that spark, that focus can feel intense. But check in with yourself, is this a good intense? Good, another inhale. Exhale, rotate open, warrior 2. Double check front toes are pointing forward. That front knee is trying to rotate open. Good. Extended side angle, front elbow can rest down. Listen to the other shoulder. Can it go all the way forward to a long angle? Is that okay for the shoulder? Good. Back up to warrior 2. Let's turn open to the goddess. Choose your arm variation that helps you focus. Find that low range. And take a few small pulses. So different to do the small pulse versus going all the way up and all the way down. This is going right at that strong range. Three, 2, 1. Let's drop hands to inner thighs for a moment. Leaning the torso forward, hips go back. This helps us to push the hips open like a frog pose. Maybe even rotate right shoulder forward, a nice little twist. And left shoulder. Good, back through the center. One more inhale. Exhale, we can straighten our legs, drop down, maybe same arm position as before, maybe a whole new one. Bring hands down. Left knee bends, high lunge or skandasana over that side. Couple of breaths here. Do you want a new variation? Do you want to try with the balance or do you want to try with hands down? There's all sorts of fun things to play with here. Imagine having something in your mind to focus on. Maybe this is a point to stare at. Maybe this is a mental thing, a goal, a hope, an emotion to focus on. One more breath on this side. Let's shift through the center to get to the second side. And see if you can return to the focus. That one-pointed focus is so powerful in meditation. It makes it so rather than having such a crazy monkey brain, we try to return to one thing over and over again. And that's where power is. That's like that magnifying glass with the light. So one more good breath in and out. Straighten both legs. Let's rise up. So perhaps bend the knees to roll up. We'll start to face all the way forward, warrior one. So shift your stance seated. Arms up to sky. Nice inhale. And then exhale, supported warrior three. Drop the hands down. Float that right leg up. Try to keep the hips very square. A little squat. Right knee touching the back of the other knee. And extend back up. 2. And 1. Good. Land both feet together. Let's hang for a moment. Maybe a new arm variation. Hugging around calves. Placing arms in elbow creases. Even coming up to a half lift if the head is not liking being upside down so much. That's also always an option. Beautiful. We'll make our way up to stand. If you need to roll up slowly, that's fine. Circling arms up if the head is okay, if that blood pressure. Good. As hands make their way down to heart, let's drop left hand to left thigh. Right hand up and over. Imagine that you're like shooting your energy off of one point. So find that perfect place to just pause. One more breath in and out. Rising up, switch sides. Same thing, immediate moment to just find that place to pause. Beautiful. Rising up. We're going to shift our weight to balance on left foot. Right foot rotates open to tree. So this can be ankle, calf, or thigh. Try to feel your foot grounding down. It's like by that action happening, like we're able to focus our mind because we don't have to focus so much on the struggle, on the wobbliness. It's like creating that foundation to rise from. Beautiful. One more inhale. Exhale, drop this right foot down. Immediately shift your weight onto it. Feel the foot grounding, spreading. When you're ready to shift left to climb up the tree, that's beautiful. Gotta keep the knee rotating open as much as possible. Beautiful. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the left foot. It's taking our weight again. Some of us in this class are ready for hand to big toe, so you can grab around right big toe and extend that leg out. If we're working on the strength and on the balance to get there, let's clasp around this right thigh instead and see what we can do about kicking that leg as straight as possible. Trying to keep the spine aligned. Good. Imagine that foot is like our focal point. We're trying to keep it so strong, so steady. One more inhale. Exhale, lower it down. As soon as the foot touches the ground, it takes that grounding action. Good. Second side, grabbing big toe or grabbing around thigh. And starting to extend it forward. Find that focal point, that steadiness. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to float first, and then if the balance is there, maybe kick. Sometimes balance is just a struggle today, and that's okay. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Let's cross our right thigh in front of the left. Rolling down. You should be feeling that left hip and outer thigh stretching, so just enjoy that for a moment. We'll come up to switch. You can either uncross the feet now or wait till you're all the way up, whatever will help your balance. Good. Shift, switch, and then drop back down. Cross now or later to rise. End up with feet underneath hips. Inhale, circle arms to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, a half lift, long straight spine, even if it's higher than 90 degrees. And then dropping down, hands plant, slide back to plank or kneeling plank. We're lowering all the way down to the belly. From here, taking that Sphinx pose again with the Garuda. We've got the thumbs hooking, the palm face up, fingers spreading wide like wings of the eagle. We're going to take just a moment to try to play with an elbow plank variation with this Garuda. Try to keep this hand as your focus instead of focusing so much on, am I ready to go down? Like, this is hard. Try to just breathe and keep your focal point focused on those thumbs. So tuck the toes. Try to rise up. You're at least going flat, if not kind of rounding up above flat. That's also fine. See if you can breathe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Lower hips back down to Sphinx. Heart gets pulled forward and through. And touch the toes. Beautiful. Right arm opens out on the floor, straight out to that right side. Right cheek is down. Press into the left hand until we start feeling that right shoulder stretching. Sometimes the top toes will get pulled back, or sometimes we can rotate and plant it behind us. Nice inhale. Exhale, start to switch. Go back through the center. Slide the left arm out. Left cheek down. And then press into the right hand until you feel the stretch. Maybe top toes rotate back. Maybe planting. Breath in, breath out, lower down. We'll transition toward pigeon. So some people do that from kneeling. So in that case, go to kneeling. Some people go from down dog. So either way, right leg prepares to slide under and through. Back knee scoots back. That gets the hips as low to the ground as possible. Remember, we're not tilting the hips. We're balancing right in the center. And then we can lower down to elbow, sleeping pigeon. If this would feel good for anybody, we could add an additional shoulder stretch by spreading the left shoulder down toward the ground. Feel both the intensity and your ability to kind of focus that intensity. Breathing into it, it's helping to calm it down. Smooth it over. Another good inhale. Exhale. Unwinding. Go to the kneeling or the down dog, whatever we like for the transition. Any wiggles you need are fine. And sooner or later, when you're ready for left to get sent through, make that transition. So only if you did the shoulder before, maybe the right arm makes its way under and through this time. Keep the focus on the slow, steady breath. We've got 2 more breath cycles. Unwind. We take any of that recovery stuff, kneeling or down dog. Eventually, when that feels good, we'll come to a seated place. We'll enjoy a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. For me, this is one of those most powerful ways to clear out the energy channels and just help my mind to focus. And so we do this with your right hand, the pointer and the middle finger tucked down, and then we'll alternate between blocking off the right nostril with the thumb and then the left nostril with that ring finger. So start off without any blocking. Just take a normal inhale. Exhale. Block off right nostril, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch on the exhale to left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. 2 more rounds. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. From here, as we head onto our back, we listen to our intuition to know whatever the last pose is that we need. Maybe we want to take a little spinal twist on our back. Maybe we want to go for plow pose. Maybe we want to go for bridge pose. Just kind of listen and know what this last pose or two that your body needs. Know what they are and explore through them. It's up to you to know when that moment is complete, when your body is satisfied and ready for our Shavasana. Your Shavasana could be anything today. You could have bent knees like a cobbler's pose. You could have just the normal. You could have legs up the wall. There's all sorts of variations. One thought that you might take before you completely rest in Shavasana is to take your hands and find some way to help focus energy on your body. So maybe you're covering your eyes for a few breaths, or maybe you're massaging your neck or resting hands on your belly. There's all sorts of options, but find some part of your body that would like to have a little bit of that calming energy, that influence. And then when you find that, just rest the hands a couple of breaths. They could stay there the whole Shavasana, or you can drop them back down after a few rounds. Shavasana, but just the breath flow, like an ocean wave, helping to clear off any of the excess static electricity that's going on in our system. Everything is calm, everything is nurtured, supported, we're at peace, we're in bliss. Begin to deepen inhales. And exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Usually taking a nice fetal position up to one side. And a few more breaths, maybe 3 or 4, until you feel ready to rise up to a comfortable seated place. So here with hands in front of our heart, imagine that's like a focal point. Notice how your energy is maybe much calmer, much smoother than it was when we first started class. So imagine with that focal point, like a magnifying glass, we're able to focus our energy to create amazing sparks of change. Maybe sparks for us and our goals, maybe toward our community or the world, creating changes by this very concentrated focus. So with this idea of greater focus for our energy to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.